Hello, everyone. Well, yes, welcome to my weekly meltdown. I just want to say that I can't tell you exactly what the plan is for the show tonight, but I need you to understand that whatever I decide to do is in the best interest of my show. And I need you to 100% trust me as I sit here and talk to you in sunglasses. Okay, I need you to believe me and know that there's nothing shady going on when someone has a conversation with sunglasses on. Absolutely not. Or when they're cracking, just know that this is my show and I know what I'm doing. No one is running this but me. Okay.
Hey, listen, I have some great ideas for the show moving forward. If we could change like X, Y, and Z, that would be perfect.
And for the record,
it's your show, but like we're gonna
right. Could somebody? I mean, does Julie Chen? Hey, Julie Chen, do you watch the show? I think it's official tonight. She doesn't because she flat out asked Tiffany if it's his first HOH. Bitch, what? No, yes, this is her first HOH, and the second woman. Julie. Oh,
I thought Julie was off her game in the entire episode.
Well, first of all, nobody was listening to Julie tonight, and I was all for it. And two, she was too busy fantasizing about Baby D's Big D.
Big D.
So she was all about the Baby D tonight.
And while we're talking about production, I feel like they could have handled that Xavier coming to the DR way better than they did, right?
Hurry the hell up! This is a live freaking show, idiot!
Or just have him vote from the have-not room.
That
right?
should have been done during the commercial break. During the commercial break should have been when he came down and prepared for that.
Yeah. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to my weekly meltdown. We haven't been in this much of like a morning mood. MOURNING, since Erica Hill got evicted in Big Brother Canada 6. And that is how all of us feel tonight. Derek X has sadly gone. And the most frustrating thing is he could have stayed if Azah and Tiffany freaking voted how they wanted to vote. I'm like this close to saying I am like done with Tiffany. I'm done supporting her as a like good player in this game because I'm so sick of people not voting in their best interest and just voting with the house. But like if they just voted how they wanted to, they had no idea that Kyland was going to send that sympathy vote. Like realistically, if her and Azah voted for Derek X tonight, he could have stayed.
I thought
of course,
he was stay.
I thought so too. Once Kyland voted to keep him, I was like, oh, this might happen. So it was just a whole roller coaster of emotions. But
let's say hi to everyone in the chat real quick before we really get nuts.
Yes.
And forget get off our game, because that usually happens when the three of us are together. Somebody's crying and there's somebody's hurt by the end of the night. Matt Henning, as always. Brandon Wu. Brandon, mute. You're celebrating. Mute. Anyway.
I think he's celebrating Tiffany winning each.
Oh, okay. That's a lot. I'm messing with you, Brandon. Adrian Celeste, Dolores L, Joseph Boza, Romero 329, Anelda, love you, girl. Let's see who else is in here. Thomas Cook. They're all regulars. Everybody's in here tonight. Thank you for joining us. There was we came this close to a flip tonight, and boy, I tell you what, I got excited for a minute after the vote started, and then Hannah went back by herself, and I feel like that was when the producers came on the intercom during the commercial and was like, is everyone understanding you're voting to evict? Voting to eviction. Everyone. Okay.
I'm telling you guys, it really could have happened. Derek X could have stayed. And of course, like Tiffany won HOH tonight. So like that doesn't matter, but they don't know that when they're voting. So like, I'm just frustrated. Like this is the second week where like Tiffany could have done some like some shit again. And it wasn't even like she went against the Cookout, right? Because it was Claire and Derek X on the block together. So like she couldn't even like have the excuse of like, well, I have to be loyal to the Cookout. Like, yeah, the Cookout wants Derek X gone before Claire, but I mean, the whole point of this alliance structure this season has been it doesn't matter who goes, like we're just sticking together until the 6th. Like it doesn't matter the boot order. So she should have done it. She should have done it. And then Derek X could have played in the Coin of Destiny this week, and we could have
and Tyler would have been and Tyler would be happy because it's all about Tyler and his feelings.
Yes, that is true.
I'm glad Claire stayed. Don't get me wrong.
I am too, because for some reason she's the turd that won't flush on my draft pick.
Yes, we'll get into the draft because I think spoiler alert, I have the boot order for the rest of the season if you guys are interested in hearing that at some point.
Okay, well that's not really a spoiler. That's just you put
no,
it
it's fact. It's fact at this point.
Is it fact? Okay.
Do we want to go into it?
I want to hear it.
Okay, so here is how I see the rest of the season shaping out, and I tweeted it, so there is a timestamp and everything. And now I am telling all of you guys here on the show that this is the boot order. So you guys can tweet at me, comment in our video, like telling me how wrong I am, like a few weeks from now.
All hate tweets go to @TLions.
Yes.
For this show, period. Everything.
Okay, so here is the boot order. So, of course, Derek X went tonight. Sarah Beth is going to go. Then Claire. Then Alyssa. Tiffany's going to be the first one taken out of the Cookout. And then Azah following. Then Derek F. It's going to be like a bloodbath between Xavier and Kyland, but I think ultimately Xavier will beat out Kyland in the final HOH, take out Kyland, and take Hannah to the final 2. And Xavier is winning the season. I'm telling you guys right now, Xavier is winning the season.
I really feel like
this season. And what I would want. Oh, okay.
Okay, here's
Sarah
yours.
Beth. So for the podcast listeners, so Andrew has written out his, and he thinks it is Sarah Beth.
No. This is yours.
Oh, okay, all right.
He's
cool.
just helping.
So you're holding me to it. Yes, perfect. But no, I'm telling you guys, I really think it's Xavier at the end, and I kind of want Kyland at the end with him because I see some very polar opposite like gameplay differences that ultimately will like make Kyland lose at the end compared to Xavier, right? So like they are two very like strong like dominant competitors in this game who have had like a pretty good loyalty to the Cookout. However, the difference between Kyland and Xavier is Xavier lost all of his allies pretty early. So he lost Whitney, he lost Christian. Alyssa's like still there, but like she's pretty irrelevant to the season, to be honest with you. And he's already given up like 2 of his people. So he's like, and he's been very okay with losing those people because he's like, listen, I'm all about the Cookout. I am loyal to the Cookout. Whereas Kyland, he like, it's very unclear to everybody. Is he more loyal to the Cookout or is he more loyal to Sarah Beth? And it's going to cost him because Sarah Beth is going to be really, really hurt once she gets to jury and she finds out that they had this like really close, like intimate connection where in Kyland's eyes, she had no chance of even getting close to the end. She's going to be really upset about that. And then the Cookout is going to be like, well, you were more loyal to her than us. Like we were not sure about you the entire time. So it hurts like both sides of the same coin where Xavier has been willing to let go of his allies, still win all these comps, and still not being seen as a huge competitive threat in this game. I mean, he was in solitary confinement, and it really didn't change anything. Whereas, like, Dan was in solitary confinement in Big Brother 14. He had to come out with, like, a Dan's funeral to save himself. Like, that's how good of a position Xavier is in. I'm telling you guys, Xavier is the winner.
You're forgetting one factor that's going to happen this week.
Here we go. Andrew always has to argue, or not argue, but debate.
Here is this scenario that I would love to see happen this week. And my prediction is this is the week that the Cookout implodes.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Tiffany nominates Sarah Beth and Alyssa.
Okay.
Kyland wins veto, takes Sarah Beth off.
Because he does whatever the hell he wants to do.
Tells everyone about the Cookout grabs Claire. Now you've got 3. Derek F is on the fence a little bit, worried about this whole girls thing. And you start to have this division happen this week. If she nominates Sarah Beth, Kyland wins the veto. Sarah Beth comes off. Cookout's done.
And Tyler, go.
So
Hey,
the
we're all
problem-
wearing blue tonight.
This
I
is
know,
great.
right? It's like we're like sad.
This is
and I picked
great.
out
It's
and I
great.
picked out a new paint color for my office, so that will be coming hopefully in a few
Looks
weeks,
blue.
depending on how crazy busy I am with everything. But okay, so Andrew, I see that scenario, and I totally get it. But my first question to you guys is, can I get a little clarity in terms of like, so those like folders that they got at the end of the
Good
episode?
God.
What is that?
Envelopes?
It's money. There's either $50 or $100 in BB bucks because it's like
it's extra money on top of like what we're voting for, right?
yeah, it's we
Okay.
screwed up the twist and didn't think this through, so we're gonna just randomly be Oprah and be like, you get $50 and you get $50 and you get $50.
Yes. So and actually,
Participation
Andrew,
trophies.
I'm glad that they did this because as of now, Derek F is the only one that will be able to compete in the Coin of Destiny thing, which is absurd. Like the fact that you can get $100 2 weeks in a row and still not have enough money to play in the Coin of Destiny is just like.
And remind
so,
me exactly
like,
how is this
stupidly
Coin of Destiny
thought out.
supposed to work?
So basically, it's like a coup d'état, but it's like a coin flip. So like you flip the coin, like a heads is like, all right, you activate it. Tails is it doesn't work. So like there is a little bit of like high stakes, high reward type of thing, which I like. It kind of like limits this like OP power like a little bit in my mind, but it's but you know, like of course, like they see the writing on the wall. Production does. They're like, all right, we screwed up this twist in terms of like how expensive these things are, right? So like Claire's only like $50 short of being able to compete in this. So they are really hoping that Claire wins the Coin of Destiny, which brings me to my like crazy conspiracy theory of how like the Cookout will implode this week. I agree, Andrew, that like it could happen this week.
Oh, it is, because I've got more theory on that I'll talk about in a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah, so let's say Claire wins the Coin of Destiny, right? And this happens before the nom. So Tiffany will know this information. Probably either way, like if it's Claire or if it's Derek F, because Derek F can't keep a secret to save his life in the Big Brother house. But I think
Yeah.
Tiffany should tell Claire about the Cookout now. She wins the Coin of Destiny and tells her that like just for optics, like I need to put up like Sarah Beth and Alyssa, like you mentioned, Andrew, just to like keep the Cookout like off the hut. And then Claire activates the Coin of Destiny, and she tells Claire to put up Kyland and Xavier together. And that way, like she can like still maintain like I am loyal to the Cookout, but telling Claire like, girl, I'm riding with you to the end, and she should, because she will win against Claire very, very easily. But she can tell Claire like, listen, I'm riding with you to the end, but I still have to be on this, like I have to be a spy on the inside for just a little bit longer. Claire can still compete in HOH next week. So like this could really work out for her, and putting Kyland and Xavier on the block together would open up this game astronomically. It would really put Azah and Derek F in a position where like they need to like stop siding with these guys.
They have to play.
Right, exactly. They have to play Big Brother. But you see how it like really cracks the game wide open. And what does Sarah Beth do if Kyland goes before her? You know, that's a really interesting question to me, and one that I'm really not sure on, because like she's burned her bridge with Claire. She's not going to get along with Tiffany. The two kings, Xavier and Alyssa, have proven with their votes that they were more willing to keep Christian over Sarah Beth. So like, where does she go? Does she like float to Derek F and Azah? Not really sure, but that's a lot more of a wide open game to me than Alyssa or Sarah Beth going this week.
Keep in mind, and this, thank you for bringing this
Oh,
up. Keep in mind, he
Yes,
is a
thank
third
you.
nominee. Now, what if he wins veto and he
I mean-
takes himself off? Is there another nominee, or
I don't think so.
I don't
Okay.
think so, but that is even more incentive, guys, for Tiffany to do this move now. Garrett, like knowing it, like public, like everybody in the house knows that Xavier is going to be
put all
a
the
third nom this
Cookout
week.
guys up?
So yeah, exactly. So put up Kyland and Derek F with the coin of destiny. You know what I mean? How lovely would it be if all three of those guys are sitting on the block and all the girls are deciding who goes home next week? That would be fucking great.
I wrote down my weekly prediction. I'm enjoying my little whiteboard.
Yeah, let's go.
And Tyler loves it when you handwrite things.
I do. Tiff will make Frenchie look like the best HOH ever. So Andrew, you think that none of this is going to work out, right?
I think your idea is okay in concept, but I think she's going to be messy as fuck, right? Like she's been messy without power, and now we're giving her power. And this messiness is going to be amplified so much greater. And the things you saw Frenchie do, these abrasive one-on-ones, that this is my week. Okay, and that would be a good play if she did that.
So Yogi said in the chat that Tiffany is nominating Kyland and Sarah Beth. She mentioned on the feeds about Kai using the veto on Sarah Beth. I feel like she should find out who wins that coin of destiny first before she does that. Just saying, the coin of destiny happens before noms.
Now, if the coin of destiny happens,
I think, right?
And it gets heads.
No, actually, it happens after. I'm so sorry. It happens after.
If it happens and it gets tails and it doesn't activate, does it go to the next person? Is it just done? Like if 3 people play and Allison flips it and her luck sucks, so she doesn't get it, do you flip it next?
So from my understanding, so say like the 3 of us are competing in it, whoever gets the highest score in the comp wins the coin to be able to flip. So like, let's say like Allison wins it. You and I don't do shit. It's only Allison's coin to flip.
Allison wins it.
And if, and it either activates or it doesn't. However, what would be more exciting, producers, I hope you're watching this show. What would be more exciting is if there's only 2 people competing. So it's Derek F and Claire, they do a coin flip for who gets the power and activates it instead of does it activate or not. You know what I mean?
This is me lying about not having a successful flip. I can't.
How many powers in the past seasons have we had that have been great powers that have gone unused?
Yes,
not
exactly.
There, not activated. And the fact that they're giving this 50-50 chance after you already gave Frenchie this 50-50 shot earlier this season, and that didn't get played and was the result in him going home. It's just it's this twist that has been meh, right? Like Xavier goes up this week. Ooh, what did that do? He won the veto, right? Like the week before that, it's just these powers haven't had any game impact, and you're going to take the one power that can truly have game impact and risk it on a freaking coin flip.
Are we sure it's a coin flip? I mean, do we even know? It may not be a coin flip.
Hopefully it's a digitally altered NFT flip, is what I'm
What
hoping.
does NFT stand for?
It's basically like buying like a digital image that's like a stock almost. It's a very like conceptual. It's almost like Bitcoin meets like a digital art, if that makes any sense. It's
Alyssa was all about the NFT tonight on the wall. I'm I'm such a big fan. When I saw the NFT, I knew this was my game.
NFTs are probably NSFWs.
Let me tell you something. Gravity was trying to take over tonight. And I feel like Andrew was evoking gravity.
Her NFTs are NSFW.
Her NFTs were pulling down on her titties, trying to show us her tatas. You understand what I'm saying? You reading what I'm writing? You drinking what I'm pouring? You eating what I'm serving?
But so some people in the chat are saying like they need to like rig this for Claire. I'm not too worried that Claire can beat Derek F in a competition. I know Frenchie came on the show and said Derek F is very strong, but I don't know about that.
But to be fair, it's going to be more than these 2 because you're talking about everybody this week is now getting either 50 or 100 and 50, 75 or 100 because you're getting America's votes and these envelopes in the same aspect here. Yeah. Hannah is guaranteed to play because she's guaranteed 50 from the envelope and she's guaranteed 50 from America's vote. That's the 100 Hannah needs.
But honestly, Hannah winning that over Claire not really too different in my mind. I feel like Tiffany and Hannah can really work together and come to a decision that works for both of them and takes out one of these guys. Like I was so gung-ho for this like segment at the beginning where Tiffany is telling Azah like, and I said on this show like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'm telling you, a final 3 agreement is coming between Tiffany, Azah, and Hannah, and we saw it tonight. But I'm telling you, like, it's really shaping out to be guys versus girls once the cookout has to turn on each other. And I hope Tiffany sees that, like, the girls have not been winning power that much. She needs to do something with this power instead of putting up Alyssa and Sarah Beth. Sarah Beth has 0 win equity in this game. Like, if I had to rank all the house guests, I think Derek F has more winners equity than Sarah Beth right now. So Tiffany, you have no business taking her out. I know she annoys the fuck out of you. I know she said on the live feeds, fuck Sarah Beth. And yeah, I said that. Like, that's what she said. And yes, pretty much all of America agrees with that. But don't take her out here. Like, it's like, I know that, like, you guys are never going to work together, but don't take her out. Like, there's much bigger targets.
She couldn't even keep Baby D tonight. She couldn't even keep Derek X tonight, which would have been a smarter decision in my opinion. So what makes you think she's going to make that smart decision when it comes to someone like Sarah Beth and keeping her? What is the difference?
So the difference is, I think Tiffany will now have like a little flame under her butt, like igniting her to like actually play this game a little bit more aggressively. I know you're shaking your head, Andrew, but this is me just thinking like optimistically about how the rest of the season.
Tiff likes to tease us every week with flips. Like, Tiff is all talk. She's all bark, no bite.
But she's never been in power. She's never been in power. So
bullshit.
You don't know.
Bullshit.
She's been in power this whole
week that she's been running this entire game. She might not have had the physical power, but you have said repeatedly that she has ran the game. So she has had power. Yes. She just can't execute that power.
I mean, she was having an issue with Kyland tonight. I mean, to me, I feel like the first person out of the cookout that needs to go is Kyland because he has executed several times. He's going to do whatever the hell he wants to do. He's had let's be real, he's had 3 HOHs. He came close to having another one tonight, which supposedly he threw because he was encouraged to for the cookout's sake tonight. But, I mean, he really needs, what is that? She has done it right, Andrew.
Joseph Boza says, she's done it right, Andrew. She will execute it now, in my opinion.
Do you think? Okay, well, let's see.
Because Yogi thinks you're right, Andrew. So we'll see.
Look at Yogi, for God's sake. Bring Yogi back up. Can we just appreciate something real quick? Look at that display picture, Yogi. I am impressed. Congratulations on that. Wow.
But, you know, she even said this week, I'm going to pull it off this week. She has said that over and over again. So it's not that she's done it right. She's and the conversation she's having to do this is not where it makes sense to lie because it's just to the camera. The time she's talking about these flips are not with people in the room that she's trying to talk to. It's her and the camera. So it's not that she's done it right. It's she hasn't been able to pull it off.
But I think it's because, like, she knows that, like, her putting herself out there against the cookout too early would be so detrimental to her game, like even more than her position is already in kind of badly. Like that list I just showed you that I made, Tiffany is the first one out of the cookout. And Tiffany has actively said on the feeds, like, I want to create the cookout as like part of like something that is really important for casting and for Big Brother and for the movement. But I know that this is actively going to be the downfall of my game probably. And like the fact that she has that foresight gives me hope that she will have the foresight here with this HOH for the first time.
I don't know. I just don't see it.
We'll see. I mean, like, I can't wait to come on a week from now, Andrew, and see who was right and who was wrong.
I think we have talked Tiffany up to be this macho, excellent game player. And unfortunately, there's been no moves to back it up.
Yes, well, like, regardless, like, this is the week that, like, is she the player that we all want her to be or not?
But it shouldn't take till now to be able to be that player.
True. Well, no, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I mean, like Dr. Will has never won a competition, and look at how he is. You know?
But how many votes did he flip? How many times did he get things to do what he wanted? How many times was he in a scenario where he should have gone home and he didn't? Tiffany hasn't had to prove any of that. She hasn't had to do any of that. She's made an alliance. That's all she's done.
Yes, and that is my one ding against her, Andrew, is like, especially tonight, Derek X could have stayed, and Derek X probably would have like won the Coin of Destiny, and that would have been even better for Tiffany's HOH, that they would be working hand in hand to make sure that this plan doesn't get screwed up. My biggest fear for this week is Derek F winning the Coin of Destiny and like just ruining Tiffany's HOH, and it very well could happen. And that would be a shame.
So, Sarah Beth goes home this week. What are you saying a week from now?
It's stupid. I mean, like, why would you take out Moaning Myrtle out of everybody left in the Big Brother house? You know what I mean? Like, that's how everybody sees her. It's stupid to take Sarah Beth out here. I understand that, like, she doesn't like her on a personal level. But, like, if you're looking at Sarah Beth, look at Kyland, who is the better player out of the two of them, you know? Take a swing at the two of them, but get the head of the snake, not the tail.
So in this scenario where Tiff puts up Kyland and SB, what do you think the ramification is from Kyland on that?
I think he's going to be really upset, and that's why I think like it's too early for her to put up somebody in the cookout. Like, I really think she needs to work hand in hand with whoever wins this Coin of Destiny.
But will a person that wins the Coin of Destiny tell her they want it?
Yes. If it's Claire, she'll tell Tiffany for sure. If it's Derek F., everybody will know because he can't keep a secret.
My favorite part of tonight is we get this whole montage of Tiffany trying to flip the vote, and then at the end, Claire's like, "With my Tiff it's HOH this week, I'm feeling good." I'm like, "Girl, that girl's talking to go home all damn week."
Yeah, when you don't say things like that, Claire. When your BFF wins HOH, you're like, I'm happy for her winning HOH. I'm assuming I'm safe.
Also, I will predict now it will be Endurance next Thursday.
Do we know that for sure?
No, but the twist is ending, so there won't be anything for the Sunday show.
Hey, I have a feeling if the twist interferes with Tiffany's plans, man, I'm kind of... People get pissed off. It happens every time somebody loses their mind over it. I know I would. You've been working so hard all week, and then all of a sudden you have this twist come along and screw it up. But, you know,
she's known about the twist. She knew about the twist before the HOH tonight.
So why is it? Listen, why is there a twist?
We have a Shima. The coop gets played on Tiffany's HOH.
I just don't understand this. Why has there got to be a twist? And another thing that's kind of pissing me off, and just let me go for a second. Stop it with the fucking back door. Just nominate people for God's sake. You guys have done, like I said on Twitter, you have worn out the back door. The hinges are falling off. They're rusty. Somebody's going to need a tetanus shot from rubbing up against them nails. It's falling off. It's in the floor. People are walking around it over and on top of it. Stop it. Nobody gives a crap anymore. Yeah, it's a cool. Stop trying to build a resume and make some moves. Not every move is a back freaking door. Nominate the people. Look them in the eye. Take the fucking sunglasses off. Have some freaking respect. Everybody wants to be there. This is everyone's dream. Just come off of it for a second. I guarantee you Tiffany is going to look at you and go, yeah, I'm putting you up and this is why. And good for her. And I hope she does it. What, Tyler?
I mean, Derek X,
everything you just said.
Derek X was a legitimate backdoor. He didn't play in the veto.
This is true, but why do we have to do all this crap? Because just why? Why do we have to do all this backdoor shit all the time? Why can't you just nominate?
Take people out with the hidden immunity idol. It's part of the game, and it's a.
It is part of the game. They're abusing it. They're abusing it when there's twists and game stuff and all this other stuff going on. It's just like, ooh, I'm gonna backdoor somebody.
So
like,
you're
I give
telling
a
me
fuck.
What you're telling me is that all this season is an abuse of the backdoor.
Yes, I'm sick of it. It's on Allison's last nerve. That's what I'm talking about. So hush. Everybody
so,
be
Allison,
quiet. I don't care.
So you would agree that Big Brother players need to like learn like the history of the game and the terminology a little bit better, right? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. Why?
Because I have a pretty viral tweet that's been going around the
Here
the
we go with
internet
his viral
about,
tweet.
about
Bring it up.
Gonna
Let's
go
see it.
here.
yeah.
Let's see it. Here
so
we go.
Derek Levasseur said that somebody suggested that the HOH and the two nominees should pick who plays in the veto. And Derek Levasseur, one of the supposed Big Brother greats, said, very interesting. Nominees and HOH get to pick all players. Brings in a stronger element of social strategy as opposed to it just being luck of the draw. And I'm like, you dum-dum. Like, this is like, they did this. They literally did this in early Big Brother until Nokomis and Marvin, I'll give Marvin credit too, broke the game in Big Brother 5 by figuring out the 6-finger plan and backdooring Jace. This is supposedly one of the greats of Big Brother, 3 question marks and a lot of cringy, sick, queasy faces. Yeah, I just wanted to look at the
We just want to look at
look at how much engagement that got.
Tyler, you got 546 hearts on
Not even a single hashtag for it to be found either.
Tweet that you started with the word bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah. I wonder if he's blocked me yet. Let me check on that.
Oh, because then we got a tweet about that with no hashtag.
I would take it as a badge of honor. No, he has not. He has not blocked me yet. But yeah, I just wanted to brag about my Big Brother virality for a quick second. Here.
Virality? Are you evoking a virality?
Virality is a word.
Is it? I've never heard of it.
Yes.
But okay.
Okay, so I want to talk about Hannah for a little bit now, because she voted for Derek X tonight to stay, which I was like really happy with and wasn't expecting, to be honest with you, because she's been really like okay with losing him all week long. But I feel like once everybody, Taryn Armstrong pointed this out on one of his like morning updates, and I was like, this is so true, and I hadn't thought about this. So like, imagine like all 6 of the Cookout members, like nobody's left in the house. It's like all 6 of them in a circle, and you ask them all to like close their eyes and point to who they want to target first out of the Cookout. Nobody is pointing the finger at Hannah, which I think is really, really good. I don't think at Final 5 anybody's pointing the finger at Hannah. I don't think Final 4 either. I really see Hannah like making it to Final 2 and losing because she like didn't win enough comps or didn't have enough agency or was like too connected to Derek X instead of the Cookout. One of those factors, but
I have a psychic feeling
She's gonna win.
she's going on the block this week. I really feel a Hannah Chaddha is going on the block this week. I feel it.
I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to go on Tyler's theory a little bit. She rides to 4. She rides to 3. But she makes sure that there's a Derek F or an Azah sitting next to her. She wins that final HOH. She takes them with her and she wins.
How do you do that when like Kyland and Xavier are winning everything?
An end endurance followed by a trivia question at Final 3?
Yeah.
You think Xavier and Kyland are going to take each other?
No, but I think it's going to be like a Demetrius and Kevin Martin from BB Camp 5 situation where like one wins the veto and then the other wins the HOH, so they like can't get each other, until that final HOH.
Here's from Anelda, but there's a rumor about the triple eviction that will keep the Cookout blow up from really happening on feeds.
Yes, we talked about this last week, and actually, like I think that bodes well to your theory about it being endurance next week, Andrew. Like even more, like the fact that like this triple's coming up, so like put in like an endurance competition next week. So we really could see like an Alyssa or Xavier HOH coming into like next week, which means one of them like so say like Xavier wins HOH next week. So he would be out of that first round of the triple, which is when like the Cookout like turns on each other, right? That is a very, very scary position for anybody in the Cookout to be that outgoing HOH once the Cookout has to turn on each other, in my opinion. So I would not want the final 7 HOH.
This is kind of true because if Kai makes it to final two, it's going to be the long. Isn't that right? Am I right? It's going to be the longest speech ever.
True.
Jesus, we're all going to be like, "Are you done yet?" Okay, no, he's not apparently.
Good question from Dolores there.
Yeah, where's that?
If
Tiffany,
no, Claire cannot win endurance.
if Tiffany gets enough to play the Coin of Destiny, can she play for the Coin of Destiny? Like, this is true. I mean, if she's HOH, can she still, and she gets the Coin of Destiny, she's going to screw up all the production's little plan.
Okay, but isn't it unanimous? Tiff could make noms and then use the Coin of Destiny anonymously to change her own noms and make it look like it wasn't her.
You know
Do
what?
we know if it's anonymous?
I would love that.
I'm 90% sure that it was anonymous.
I would
don't
love
think so.
that.
I think they want that moment of like, remember Big Jeff in season 11 standing up and using the coup d'etat? I think they want that moment on live TV on Thursday.
I'm pretty sure.
I think Tiffany would have the balls to do it though.
I've heard. I remember Julie saying it was unanimous.
I'll have to check. Joseph says that you're right. So I mean, like, even better for Tiffany's game if that is the case. And Andrew, like, so remember my theory about like Claire winning? She tells Claire about the cookout, tells Claire to like put up like the two guys, whatever. Like literally same exact plan, but Tiffany's just doing everything, which would be a hell of a resume thing for her if she gets to the end.
I'm living for it. Like, Tiffany, I think we need to give her a little bit. Yeah, she has tried to orchestrate some flips that didn't happen, and it's a tease, and it pisses everybody off. But she is putting in the effort and really trying, and she's playing the game, and she's doing the best she can with the idiots that she's stuck working with. I wouldn't work with Kyland with a gun to my head. I don't give a shit. He does whatever he wants.
Neither would
he
she.
doesn't care. He gets an HOH and it's an interrogation. It's like I'm watching an episode of Law and Order. I just need Olivia Benson to walk past and start with the spotlight and throwing chairs against the wall with Stabler. Answer the question. Who are you? You going to do what I want or not? Are you going to use the veto? I'm talking. Are you going to use the veto? I need to I need to know. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with the veto. Yes.
Here's why this season's so good, though. 4 weeks ago, we were all loving Kyland. Week 2, Kyland stands. 3 weeks ago, Tiff stands. This week,
is how you play an HOH, not like Frenchie. You play like a Kyland HOH, is what we were all saying.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all been giving Tiffany all this credit for playing this great game, and now there's backlash against, okay, well, what has she really done, right? Like, that is how great this season is there hasn't been one that I'm just, like, straight up rooting for. Each week, it's almost been a voting block for me. I've rooted for different people in every week, in every weekly scenario, and that's what makes a good season. It's unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen.
But, Andrew, like, so Tiffany has, like, she's, like, seen this coming. Like, she's been telling the cameras, like, this is what's like so fascinating to me, like as a player for Tiffany, is I feel like we've never seen a player like set up a big alliance and understand that big alliance is probably like the thing that's gonna like do her in. Mm-hmm. And she says, you know what, the cause is more important than the game. I'm going to do it anyway. Try to like have my cake and eat it too, with like setting myself up, like getting to the end, but also like doing it for the cause. So it's very hard to do both of these things, like because like your own like game interest is going to start conflicting with the group. And that's why I think like when Derek X was voted out tonight, I was telling my partner, like, I'm done with Tiffany. She could have made the flip happen, but she didn't, and this is the turning point. And then she wins HOH tonight, and I feel like this specific position right now is like such a perfect time for her to have power and change the game. And so I'm telling you, like a week from today, I hope I'm coming back and saying, like, Tiffany, you did it. You have set yourself up for the rest of the season. This is what, like, this week is like what it comes down to.
And I hope you are too. I hope we are having that conversation.
Yeah. Because I think she's like one of the only like great winners that I see out of this season. You know what I mean?
Here's what I'm going to say on that. Yes, I agree that the movement that the Cookout has done is great. In my opinion, they've proved their point. They've done it.
Yeah.
And for them to go to Final Six, to me, doesn't mean anything. They have done and stayed together and worked closely together when 9 times out of 10 in those weeks, they weren't in power, right? They've done what other alliances haven't been able to do. Alliances usually have to win. They've controlled this game. But now it's a point in time to say, okay, we've proved our point. Now let's play the game. It's time. And it's not at Final Six. It's right now.
Yep. And the thing is, like, people are comparing it to, like, the steamroll of the committee last year. I totally disagree because we just had a Sarah Beth HOH. We had a Derek X HOH, and they didn't target anybody in the cookout. So, like, we can't sit here and say, like, they're like, the opposition. And you can't even call it that because
Christian
like, these people are so snowed. You know what I mean? So there isn't even an opposition where in last season there was a clear opposition. They just couldn't win shit, right? Davon, Kevin, Bailey couldn't win anything to save their lives. Where like we have people that have like been capable of winning things, and the Cookout has just done such a great job of just missing them because like they're never seen together, which I think is good because like optically like it is more obvious to like connect them if you see them all like sitting there together, right? And like strategizing. So that's why this alliance structure is so unique, and I don't think it's a problem for Big Brother moving forward because I don't see the Cookout ever really being able to be pulled off again because people watching the season will be hyper aware of it and like making sure like nothing's happening, right? So to people saying like the Cookout is like breaking the game, no, you just don't like this season, and sorry, not sorry, but
Listen,
sorry, I just have so many things to
there's a lot of people who are being very ugly about the Cookout because it is a group of people of color. Listen, there have been huge groups of freaking white people, okay, that have made it far, and nobody says a thing. So don't start that next season. Everybody's going to be looking around. Oh, all the people of color are herding together. We need to do something. That's just silly.
Well,
And
it could, in all honesty.
It could, but I hope that's not the case.
But here's what I love about it. It's always been men, women, men, women, men, women, women. Now we're getting different layers of culture and different layers of background and different layers of people to be like, okay, and now maybe, okay, cool. The Cookout and the POCs have dominated this game. But now maybe we will be able to find more of that balance of, okay, let's start to work together so we don't have an overcoming of this culture versus an overcoming of that culture, just like we see in the real world. And that is what the point of Big Brother should be, is a social extension and a social experiment of what happens here. So I hope that thought process comes into people's heads in future seasons. From all cultures, from POCs to white people to everybody, of, hey, how can we balance this to make sure that we've got the right mesh of people here to elevate our games moving forward?
And Tyler, did you? And I don't know if you want to talk about this, but
I was going to talk about it.
Okay,
but first, like, I want to say one more thought of like one more like crazy conspiracy theory that I have.
Here we go.
I really think that Claire knows about the Cookout, but she knows that she can't say anything about it due to like the optics of the situation. And that's why I think like so many of us are like so stumped. And like, Claire, you are a super fan of this game. You played like Survivor Michigan at your college. Like that's how big of a like fan and like player, like she like, I guarantee you she listens to like RHAP like every morning, like the live feed updates. Like she is like one of us. So the fact that she's playing this like docile of a game, I can't say that like she just doesn't know what's going on. I have to think that she's thinking like, oh, there's no big alliance this season. Like this season is so crazy different. Like there's no way that that's what she's thinking. And that to me explains why she just like has like no scrap in her as like a super fan, as somebody who's so like well connected to Tiffany of all people, like a very capable, really good, smart player, right? I just feel like Claire sees the writing on the wall and knows that it's kind of like hopeless for her. So I think she's just enjoying her time and experience in the Big Brother house and living out like a dream that like all of us have wanted to have. So I think that Claire knows about the Cookout, and I think that speaks volumes for her character that she is like, if that is the case, if she's like just kind of like accepting it and saying like, I'll try, I'll still play it, but like it's probably not going to work out for me. So I'm just hanging out and enjoying it. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about, so I asked my partner who is Vietnamese yesterday, I was like, how does it feel that like in a season that is like so diverse, like so good with like casting like all types of people in different backgrounds, that an Asian man is like a beloved fan favorite by like universally all of America, like not just the super fans, not just the casuals, but like I feel like Derek X really meets like both of those like different types of viewers very well as like a very rootable underdog. He said it makes him feel like really, really good and validated and everything. So I just think that like if you're gonna bring back like anybody from this All-Star season, I think like it's Derek X with a bullet. For somebody who came into this game as a recruit that didn't know really anything about Big Brother and wasn't a part of the cookout, I think he did the very best he could. His like comp wins were very impressive. I do think that him taking out Christian was ultimately still the right move, because they were gonna gun for him immediately after that week anyway. So I can't say like he did any like fatal mistakes except for just not being in the cookout, and maybe Hannah could have worked harder to make that happen. But it's hard to like push Hannah to do that when like you literally don't even know about it.
Yeah. I
So
think
very proud of Derek X and what he represents in the Big Brother community.
Yeah. They're saying vote Hannah is trending in the US.
I voted for Claire all 10 times.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't voted once this season, and I will not vote this season.
I'm not a big voter. I'm just going to say
American influence on the game. It's just a personal thing for me.
I vote every once in a
fine.
while.
Yeah.
Somebody had something in the chat.
No, there's not a jury battle back.
There is no jury buyback. Thank God.
Yeah.
I will say, like, COVID has done like wonders with like stopping these like stupid battle backs. So
I know, right?
I am thankful. Except like they did it in BB-Can 9, but like they didn't even like really leave the house. They just like did a little loop-de-loop around the studio. So
how are they going to handle the jury house? I mean, Brittany's basically been there a whole week by herself. Where you have to quarantine for 2 weeks before you go to the jury house? How's that going to work? They're not going to do that, are they?
They stay in the bubble.
Okay.
They're still in the bubble because they haven't gone against anybody else. So it should be the same.
And I wouldn't be surprised if like it was a requirement to be vaccinated before going into the Big Brother house this year. Yeah. And I know that like last year they did like COVID tests like every week for all the house guests. So they might be doing the same in the diary room this year too. But
that's confirmed, Tyler, though, that they had to be vaccinated, because Christy made that big deal. Was how could I have tested positive?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that was confirmed. I do want to say before we wrap up tonight that my favorite part of tonight's episode was that we got a trailer for season 41.
Oh, Survivor?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we did.
Just the going through the woods, right?
With the voices talking.
Oh, that's been playing like nonstop for weeks.
Okay, but the fact that trailer was there made me excited, and that was my favorite part of the episode.
That was his favorite part.
I thought that like they had like a legit trailer that I missed. I was like, what?
I've always been more Big Brother than Survivor. Like always, Big Brother's been my life and my blood. But the fact that I haven't had Survivor for a year now, it's really made that itch there.
I feel like it's crack. Like, where's the vein? I got to put some Survivor in it.
And I've said this a million times, but like, thank God they were able to do Winners at War before COVID happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that is like, we are blessed that happened.
So I was asking, was Christy replaced on purpose? I don't think so. Now she was vaccinated, but still got COVID. People, you can be vaccinated and still get COVID.
And I heard it was and that's true. Yeah. My father-in-law has COVID and he's vaccinated, but I did hear it was a false positive. I heard she wasn't actually positive. She tested when she got home and was negative.
I mean, it's such a bubble. You don't want to take any risks.
Oh, I agree 100% with the decision, but that just sucks that a false positive is what made you not fulfill your dream. And it's crazy to think what
she's got cameo.
A substitution of Claire versus Christy would have done to this game. It's crazy to think about that.
I do want to update our draft. First there's a tweet from Janelle that said, Queen Tiffany is HOH. Yes, fuck Sarah Beth. And I said that shit.
I love Janelle.
So Janelle always coming in piping hot with the tweets. But here's our draft. So I have sadly, it took so many weeks for me to get anybody off of my draft team. I feel like I had to actively start trying to do so. But Derek X sadly has been evicted, and that is my first draft team member. And I'm not really feeling good about my team overall right now. I'm very scared for the next for the very near future for the like my whole entire team. Andrew, I think you had the final too.
I'm feeling good about my team right now.
I'm feeling pretty good about mine too. I mean, she ain't going. She hadn't left yet.
Yeah.
But don't sleep on Derek F. I've been saying it for a month now.
Looking at this, even though I've got 2, I think I have the strongest team currently in the game.
1,000%, Andrew. 1,000%. I'm telling you, you have the final two. You can lock that in now. Timestamp it, August 26th at 9:57 p.m. Yeah. So, any other thoughts before we wrap up here?
No, just stop it with this backdoor BS. I'm sick of it. Just shit.
Yes.
And we didn't get, somebody had mentioned in the chat that we didn't get a big segment on Xavier alone for 24 hours. Listen, I love Xavier, but he's boring as hell. Round people, I don't want to watch him 24 hours by him damn self. Shitting in a bucket in a tent.
Real quick, did anybody else for a second think Hannah was going in for a kiss?
I think she's upset she didn't get one. She didn't get one. She didn't get it.
There were several points where I felt like she went and then she went back and then she went and she went back. Like I really thought she was trying to get a kiss in there.
In my heart,
Calissa got one.
Julie Chen wanted it. She was like, she perked up so much when she was asking Derek X about that little romance. She was like, oh, I'd never seen her have this much emotion, but she was like, "Oh, Derek X, I love it," and I was like, "Julie, you were so awkward." Like,
I call you Baby D.
I think Julie was going for the kiss. Actually, like I think Derek X was coming out, and Julie was like,
"She's going for the Baby D."
Well,
the big
Julie,
D from the Baby D.
That's right.
Yes. Julie Chen, take your own advice at the end of tonight's show. Be humble, and yeah, that's what I say. She is Looney Tunes. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
I think that about wraps it up. We'll be back Sunday immediately following Big Brother at 8-ish, 9-ish.
I'm really excited for the Sunday show now because we'll be able to talk about how the week is unfolding and everything. So I can't wait. And so you, Beth, and Andrew will not be there, right? So it's me and Chris Wallace, right?
And Matt Henning.
I'll let you know for sure if it gets a little closer to Sunday, but I'm probably a no.
Okay. If you do come, I would love that, Andrew, so I can either say you were right or you were wrong.
How much information will we know on Sunday?
We will know the nominees. We will know the Coin of Destiny holder, and we will know the veto holder. The veto ceremony doesn't happen until Monday.
But we're not necessary that we will know the Coin of Power holder. Coin of Destiny holder.
Yeah, we will.
So is this...
We won't know, what is done with it until Thursday, but we'll know, who has it, and I guarantee you, we will know. And if it's anybody but Derek F., I think they'll be working with Tiffany.
Hey, no goodbye messages for Derek. Dolores brought in the chat.
She said you can see him on Paramount Plus.
Okay, yeah, but he didn't get. Okay, well, does he get to see him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It was going to happen in the extended interview. Was the impression that I got.
That's too much work for me. You need to show it on the show.
Henning says High Roller Room is on Sunday show. That's true too.
All right, guys, we got to get out of here. Are we done?
Yep, we're done. All right. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Take care. Have a good weekend. All that fun stuff. And Tiffany for HOH. We'll see what happens. All right. Bye.